Welcome to module number 2 of the PeopleCert Scrum Master 2 certification training course from One World Training. In module 1, we covered introduction to Agile and introduction to Scrum in 2 parts that was. In this module, it is about the Scrum Master role. This is an important module. We will focus on the core competencies required of a Scrum Master and then turn our attention to the concept of leadership and how a Scrum Master serves the Scrum team, the product owner, and the overall organization. After looking at some of the things a Scrum Master doesn't do, we will have an individual exercise for you to perform a self-assessment of your current skills. You may do that separately after listening to this recording. The module concludes with a discussion regarding challenges for the role in your organization as a small assignment for you. There will be 17 questions from this module in the Scrum Master role. We have split this module into 3 sections, which means there will be 3 separate recordings. And then we will have another one for the quiz questions from this module. So in total, we would have 4 separate recordings for this module number 2. Section number 1 is about the core competencies required for a Scrum Master. Section 2 is about the Scrum Master as a leader and how he or she serves the Scrum team. Section 3, how does the Scrum Master serve the product owner, serve the organization, and what does the Scrum Master not do? And it'll be followed by a template which will be showed to you as a self-assessment template, which you can work out separately. And then that'll be followed in another recording with the quiz questions. Jeff Watts is an author and a very experienced and well-respected Scrum coach. As per him, in his famous book, Scrum Mastery from Good to Great Servant Leadership, a Scrum Master is not a master of the team, but a master at encouraging, enabling, and energizing people to gel as a team and realize their full potential. Note the phrases encouraging, enabling, energizing people, and gel as a team. Do you think you have the competencies to achieve this? Well, you will. Undoubtedly, some people possess these skills, but others may need to build or strengthen these skills in order to be effective as a Scrum Master. While it's also about a framework, but it's also about these things: a master at encouraging, enabling, and energizing people to gel as a team and realize their full potential. This book is not part of the recommended 6 books to prepare for the exam. However, it is quite worth reading. We're now going to section 1 of this module, number 2, the Scrum Master role. In particular, the core competencies for a Scrum Master. These are listed here as knowledge, teaching or coaching, facilitation, communication, problem solving, and organizational change. Knowledge is about understanding Agile, Scrum, and other best practices and their application. Teaching or coaching is the ability to help teams and individuals understand and apply Agile and Scrum mindset or behaviors. Facilitation is the ability to assist and support others in executing activities and achieving objectives. Communication is about seeking to understand and then communicate appropriately with a variety of stakeholders. Problem solving is the ability to seek creative solutions for problems and to resolve conflicts. Organizational change is about understanding and applying approaches to aid in the transition to an agile way of working. The Scrum Master is an Agile and Scrum expert. A Scrum Master should be the master of Agile and Scrum and should be able to guide and direct an organization in the adoption and adaptation of Agile principles and practices. Should understand Scrum is not the only Agile approach. There are many other approaches apart from Scrum as well. A great Scrum Master is knowledgeable in other Agile approaches such as XP, Extreme Programming, Kanban, and Lean. He or she knows the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and risks of other methods, frameworks, or principles, and how and when to use them. Also understands what a team is trying to achieve and helps them become more effective in an Agile context. So we see here the Scrum Master guides and directs an organization in the adoption and adaptation of Agile and Scrum principles and practices, as well as other methods, frameworks, and principles. Let's look at the link shown below from infoq.com, a great Scrum team. While there is extensive information on this site, let's take a quick look at what it includes. There is information here about the product owner. There's also information here about the characteristics of a great product owner, and then information about the Scrum Master. And if you look at here in particular, according to the Scrum Guide, the Scrum Master is responsible for ensuring Scrum is understood and enacted. Scrum Masters do this by ensuring the Scrum team adheres to Scrum theory, practices, and rules. The Scrum Master is the servant leader for the Scrum team. The Scrum Master helps those outside the Scrum team understand which of their interactions with the Scrum team are helpful and which aren't. The Scrum Master helps everyone change these interactions to maximize the value created by the Scrum team. The role of a Scrum Master is one of many stances in diversity. A great Scrum Master is aware of them and knows when and how to apply them, depending on situation and context. Everything with the purpose of helping people understand and apply the Scrum framework better. Therefore, the Scrum Master acts as a servant leader, facilitator, coach, conflict navigator, manager, mentor, teacher. A great Scrum Master involves the team with setting up the process, the Scrum process that is, understands team development, understands principles are more important than practices, recognizes and acts on team conflict, dares to be disruptive, is aware of the smell of the place, is both dispensable and wanted, let his team fail occasionally, his or her team that is, encourages ownership, has faith in self-organization, values rhythm, knows the power of silence, observes the team, shares experiences, has a backpack full of different retrospective formats, can coach professionally, the list is endless, isn't it? Has influence at the organization level, prevents impediments, isn't noticed, forms a great duo with the product owner, allows leadership to thrive, is familiar with gamification, understands there's more than just Scrum. And a few more here, leads by example and is a born facilitator.